gamers. My player name is Logarithm, and I wanted to share some tips and tricks for playing Ziggurat 2. I guess I'm the best player out there records-wise, so I thought it's a pretty enjoyable game. I think a lot of people maybe aren't getting what they could out of it. So I'm going to offer you some tips and tricks for this to maybe make this a little more fun. So I think the first thing is the controls are pretty important to get those set to what you're looking for. And I think I kind of turn down a lot of these things. Like there's some extra settings that make for weird like fisheye effects and stuff like that. And I turn those off because there's a lot going on with this game. So I think it's better to kind of take away some of those extra elements. So this is my control setup here. And I think the most important thing I would say is I set my run to L1 because I'm using it all the time. Like you're just constantly on the run in this game, and you want to be, if you have to press down on that R or L3 button and move around, I think it's going to get really frustrating. Like I did not like that one iota. So I switched some things around so I could have run on my L1 button. I don't even remember what the original settings look like, but this is my setup. If you like it, you could take a snapshot of it and try that with yours too. So I kind of got rid of the next weapon, previous weapon, last weapon, and when I want to switch weapons on the bottom, I use the pad to go to spell. I know where all that's at. I know where spells on the left, staffs on the bottom, alchemy's on the right for me. That's how I set it up. And then the rest of it is kind of up to your preference. But I think the key is definitely that run thing, to get the run set to something that you can keep pressed all the time and just not have to focus on it that much, because there'll be enough to focus on. Oh, let's see. What else? I guess for those who are new to the game, how to play. I think we'll just go through me. I'll do a little training on this. So we'll go ahead and go back to the modes. And Infinite Dungeon, this is the one that I play almost all the time. And this is where, like, I have a lot of records on here because I play it so much, and apparently I do it pretty good. So when you get in here, they have this where they show the records, and you can start a game from any one of these characters. There's different difficulty levels: novice, apprentice, scholar, master, and archmage. And I think we should start a little easier for the clinic, like not the easiest setting, but I think probably apprentice, because it's pretty busy. So when it gets so busy, then it makes it tough. Before we do that, though, I want to see if... Okay, I'm going to go into a few of these things. There's a lot of perks in this game. These are a gazillion perks, 225 perks unlocked there, and a lot of those are specific towards each character. But there are some that are really great if you can get them. They're definitely not all the same value. So this is what you want to really focus on, is picking perks that these will make it interesting for you, and you'll go dabble in what you might like for builds, and it's going to have everything to do with what perks you pick. And you've got the 12 heroes here, so they all have different skills, special skills, and you can see for some of the higher scores and whatnot, that's because they have better skills for scoring. Like this guy always gets some of the highest scores. Well, if you play him well and you get pretty far in there, you can go and get a lot of extra perks with this character. But everybody, they're kind of fun to try out, the different ways, and I think you'll probably like some characters more than others. But all in all, they have some pretty good characters. And then we've got weapons. These are all just the wands up here. And I'm just going to kind of part race through here. I'm not going to take forever. Bore you to death yet. Okay, so wands and spells. All of these spells in this category here. Looks like there's 16 spells, 16 stabs, and 16 alchemy weapons. And I'm going to guess there's 16 wands. Anyway, they give you a lot of diversity. There's a lot of these that are not fun to play, and a lot of times some of these I just get right out if I'll get out of the game and start again. Okay, one more thing is amulets. These are pretty, these can make or break you here, I think, over time. So they'll really help for certain situations, and you'll detail your character probably somewhat what amulet you like. If you've got like, here's a poison weapons damage one, and they keep getting higher and higher as the levels get higher. So that's 8% right now. Well, that could be 80% on level 10 or floor 10. Excuse me, but yeah. So it's just a bunch of little stuff to dabble with, customize your character, and try it out. And I think for a lot of gamers, that's really enjoyable. That's the one thing that I like the most, is actually trying out all these different builds, and whatnot. So. All right, so let's go with, we are on novice. Let's go to apprentice. That's the second level up. Could go to scholar. I think we'll just go apprentice to see if we can get a little bit of progress here, as you can see how some of the perks work. All right, let's try Karina. She's a good character. Starting out. Here we go. All right, infinite dungeon. Well, pretty fun game graphically. They really upgraded from the first game quite a bit. And okay, these are two pretty good weapons, so I'm probably just gonna stick with this. The wand is pretty fast, and this is a fast and powerful weapon. And here we go. We've already got a shop. Talented staff wielder, magic binding. That's an interesting one. Might just mess around with that. And dark pact. I'm probably going to do that first, even though that'll lose health. So first I got to get some coins. I don't have any coins. It says purchase 6 coins, and I have 0. So I'm probably going to come back in and sacrifice a little health to try and get 4 perks. My philosophy with this is definitely try to level up as soon as you can. As much as you can. I mean, you can't sacrifice all your health, obviously, but it just helps to get those perks in earlier. It's like getting a big head start, and then you can get some pretty big runs, and that's fun. It's fun to go on some big runs. So don't forget to collect all your stuff. Like that was a coin drop over there. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff naturally because I forget how much I've played this thing, and not really used to putting on a clinic, I guess, if you will. But I will try. So I'm always looking to pick my stuff up. Always, even if I don't. That's their special perk there, by the way. A shove move. I'm particularly looking to get 6 of those coins going so I can try out that dark pact perk, and that will give me 4 perks. So everything's kind of 3D. The first game was basically 1D where you didn't have these different floor levels inside of one floor. So the map is 2D, and you have to figure out, where you're at there. Sometimes you have to go up and around a set of stairs or something to go to the next room. Lots of traps, lava. If it looks bad, it probably is. So that's definitely one of the deals. If I'm getting low on mana down there, I'm going to go ahead and switch to my... I'll shoot a couple, and then it actually should switch me to my wand automatically when I run out, I believe. Yeah, there it did. So this is the wand. It's a pretty good wand. Shoots several projectiles at once, so that helps. Okay, I don't want to get too close to that guy, so I'm getting out of there. Because he'll just light me on fire. And that's not what I'm looking for, you know? I like to save a little bit. There's a dash move. You save that up for when that guy was about to light me up, so I was like, no, you're not. I'm gonna move. All right, so now it's time to pick a perk. And I'm gonna choose the quick reflexes one for a couple reasons. That's a good one with the dash, and I get an increased fire rate, which is really handy. But also it's gonna give me health +5 on the bottom. So for now, that sounds fantastic. I'll take the extra health. And so there we go. But that's where the game's at. You sort of get the luck of the draws. Like, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what's going to be in the next room. Like, this is one of these lava puzzle rooms. You just have to get around and get to the treasure chest here. And oh, this is cool. I've got a spell now. Black Onyx is a pretty good spell, which is really handy when you're starting to run out of mana. So I'm a little bit low on my alchemy weapon, which is that Doom, whatever, that little machine gun. So this way I'll have some options when I'm getting really low on mana or run out. This one's got some knockback effect, which is nice when you're getting hounded by a bunch of stuff too. Tons of critters with area of effect damage, so that'll light you up if you're too close. Here, I'll go ahead and do it. So now it lit me up for a second, you know, and so you kind of get used to, over time, you get used to what kind of range you need to have for these things. And sometimes there's just no way out of it. You're going to get some burnage. All right, another thing I like to do sometimes is, let's say I was low on health, which I'm not right now, but I might go and say, I know this is a big room because I know the rooms. So I might just not take that on if I'm really low on health. And I might go see what is in another room. I think that's the same room I just looked at. That's another issue with the map there. I'm going to look at the map on the left. So this is a little smaller room. It could be fine to go in that other room. For me, it's okay right now because I have plenty of health, so it really doesn't matter. You kind of want to use when you know you're going to level up, use it to your advantage because you're going to usually get a bunch of health there. And so you can take on some of the tougher rooms, especially if you're ready to level up, because you're going to get some of that back. Lots of other things will shoot these long projectiles at you too, like these burning heads. They shoot some fireballs at you that'll kind of hone in on you from a distance. So you just get used to dodging things all the time. Got my run set up on that L1 button, and I'm using it quite a bit. And then I'm always ready to hit my dash, which for me is the square button on the PS5 controller. Okay, here we go. Next time for another perk. I leveled up. Dark Forge, get a random weapon. You know, those kind of suck. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. You could get lucky, but you might actually get rid of one of the weapons that you like and it gets replaced with something you don't like. Unmatched Talent is a good one here. But early on, I'm going to take this 15 points of shield for losing a weapon. That's a pretty sweet bonus. So there we go. So I lost my alchemy weapon. Doombringer's gone. But I've got 15 points of shield, which is the blue part of that bar down on the Karina face there. So the shield one will keep regenerating over time. But it needs some time. Like when you're in the middle of battles, it may not be regenerating nearly fast enough or even at all. I'm saving a little dash for this guy too. So when he comes around the corner, if I don't already get him before it's time, then I've got a dash move ready to get out of the way. When you're starting out and when you're playing on tougher levels, you need to kind of get used to dodging some of these things. It's really more about being able to dodge trouble than it is being able to wipe everything else out. Okay, another level up. Having fun. I'm going to go with Erudite. Knowledge gems give me 50% more experience, and it reduces the damage. It's not a real tough level, so this is like one of these ones where if you can dodge everything for a while, you can get a lot of level ups and then maybe go really far into the game, which is fun. So Erudite is the one. Haste is fine. That's good too. And a level 2 spell, that would just replace the one that I have. So I like the one that I have. So there it is. So now the next time I'm going to be leveling up a lot faster now, which is exactly how I like to play the game. So I also have 12 coins, and I was going to go get that Dark Pact and maybe one other thing, because they're both, I think they're like 6 coins apiece. So let's go back to Barter Shop, which is right here, following my map in the left corner there. Not really that interested in that one. And I don't know if that would be a good idea to replace this, so I'm probably just going to stick with this. Alright, so now I got 4 perks. My health went down quarter, which is a bummer, but you always have to give something to get something on this game. Alright, I'm going to keep working this shield. It's going to give me 10 more shield points eventually. I have to keep opening chests to do it, but it'll happen. Right now my shield's at 15 up there in the upper left. Okay. Not the worst perk there, training, but you don't know what you're going to get. And I really don't like slowing down my experience rate that much. So I'm going to go for Turtle. I'm starting to do a lot less damage here and there, but that's okay. Submission, that's a good one. That means every time I beat one with a status effect, it'll give me 8 mana on everything, which is great if you're really low on all things, especially if you've been wearing out all your stuff, then you start getting some options in the middle of a fight. This is a great perk, and this is the one I'm going to take. 25% fire rate during the first 20 seconds of the fight. That helps. I'm going to go with... This is great if you have a good alchemy weapon. I prefer a lot of the alchemy weapons, but the other ones are good too, staves and spells. This is probably not the worst idea, but I'm going to go a little greedy here, and I'm going to go for Loan Shark, which means now I'm going to start getting experience when I pick up coins. I usually play a little greedy on that stuff, and sometimes I lose because of it. For sure, but hey, it's a game. It's fun. Why not? Gamble a little bit. It's okay. Alright, just checking out the map. Could have made a better route. This is when I got to go up and around the stairs to get to this door. The old Ziggurat, it didn't have that thing happening, so. Alright. A lot of these things hone in on you. These guys shoot weapons that will hone in on you, so you kind of have to keep an eye out on that. You kind of get used to these things, and you don't really panic too much, and then you start to be aware. Like, I know there's a guy over there shooting at me from the left too. I was a little slow both times, but if I had a little more room, I could have moved out of the way. I'm just using my wand. I only have a little bit of blue mana left, which is the spell, and that's the only thing I have. I would rather save that for the boss. I could have gotten to this barter place and picked up one more perk. But I also know, like, maybe this one, right? I could have done this, talented staff wielder. But the thing is if I do that now, that's going to keep coming up when I level up. That's going to be like one of the options. It's not one of the options I want real early. So I'm going to hold off on that and wait for something that I would prefer, which is something more offense related. Use a little bit of the old, for those of you who watch the Karate Kid or any of those things, you like I like the Johnny Lawrence philosophy of the best defense is more offense. All right, here goes the first boss. Switch over to what I have left of the spell. Big nasty blob dude hanging out in the dungeon. Well, he got a crown from somewhere. King. You can hear that wand slow down. That's because it's running out of mana on there. And I could have used that a lot earlier. I didn't figure that out real soon. Like using the special power. Okay, now it's starting to put out some of these. I'm going to go and try and pick up some stuff so I can use this spell. I'm getting a little aggressive there, but that was so I could refill my blue meter and hopefully take out King Blob a little easier. Really watching those big ones, the three tripler there, I don't want to get hit by those. They're big damage and they curse you. And that makes you take more damage and deliver less. So it's a double whammy. It's also one of the reasons I like this character, Karina, and some of the others, is she deals curse damage. So she does a lot of damage. And makes them do worse, not as much damage. Always prepared, blood rights. I'd wait on blood rights here because better to build my health way up to maybe 150 and then add on even more. Always prepared. I'm going to go for that mostly because it has health +5 at the bottom. And need to start getting some more health build up there. If you let your health stay too low on this thing, you're gonna get whacked early. The game gets a little rough at times. Taking a look around, sometimes there's these 3 blue keys which will open a room that has either treasure or allows you to forge a weapon and strengthen it. Not one of my favorite weapons. It's not bad though, but it's a little bit slow. Alright, let's use this. Good time to shove those guys. So when they turn purple like that, they're cursed. So they're doing a little less damage and they're taking more damage. And this character is really cool because when we get the right perks going, think it's a perk called Purity, then they'll get all this extra experience going whenever they're purple like this. And that can really help the level ups happen. Well, I could have dodged that one. That was a shot right to the face. A couple of them. Oh, another one right in the face. Jeez. Alright, survived it anyway. There's the blue at the bottom is refilling. You can see that health bar going up. That's because the blue one's redoing itself, the shield. Alright, that's what we get for perk here. Pain conversion. Lone shark. I wouldn't mind the extra lone shark experience, but I'm also... Pain conversion's not bad. We're getting that extra health plus 5 at the bottom again. I'm down. The barrier plus 25 is great, but you don't get the barrier once they're the barrier doesn't come back, and you know once they keep hitting you, then you lose the barrier. So the health is more permanent. You can hear all the little lava and traps going everywhere, so you have to be careful where you stand, even when you're not in the middle of a fight. This thing's disrupting them. It's got a little knockback effect, and so it makes it a little bit harder for them to make their move at you. These guys do a big old charge move at you, but it kind of interrupts them. So, okay, returning to play here. Big phone call there. Okay, so now we are just exploring some rooms, trying to level up here. Where the boss is over there on the map. So these are, yeah, there's a bunch of poison down there. I'll just shoot across first. I sort of get used to traveling the easier way. There's one of these keys. So pick that up. Pretty casual in the beginning. You're going to have to really tighten it up here in a while to keep going for a while. Otherwise, it'll be over. But for a few levels, if the difficulty is not real high, you can sort of relax a little bit and have some fun. And like I said, it's going to start getting a little bit crazy around here. Alright, let's go use this spell a little bit. You can see those guys kind of load up when they're gonna shoot their little poison bomb at you. A lot of this is just you have to get used to some of the enemies and whatnot. But I think if you have you have the run going on and you get used to being able to get away from some of the faster things like the endless carrots that will come after you, and that helps quite a bit. So that level up my oh, here's another key, by the way, blue key. So that's 2. I have to get 3 of those, and then when I get 3, that's enough to open the door when I find wherever the door is. Switching back to the wand. A lot of the times when it's towards the end of the fight and there's only a few enemies, that's a good time to flip through the wand and still save a little bit more of your ammo for the next. Wow. Okay, this is what they do a lot of times, and this is I think one of the funner features about the game. So Overheal is a fantastic perk right there. That's really good, and we would start really having a lot of health for this character. Because all that extra goes and turns into barrier, especially if you're on a good run and you're not getting hit much. So great perk. Pain conversion, that's also nice, and it's also got the health +5. So that looks also pretty wonderful. But again, I'm kind of greedy here on this one, and I'm going to go with the purity. Defeating a cursed enemy gives 40% experience for 8 seconds. So that means I'm going to try and be cursing these guys all the time and utilizing this so I can get quicker level ups for experience. So I'm going to take this one. They're all good choices here. All right. So I'm going to wait on that room. Usually this one of the perks is a guardian perk. If we get that, then I'll want to wait to pick up the key until right before the guardian fight, which is the big boss of the level. There's the last part of the key. So now I've got master key completed, it says up there. So when you find that blue room, then get right in there. On that left corner there, you can see extra fire rate, extra experience. So that means they go up for a while. I get 8 seconds on this extra experience, and the extra fire rate was from earlier, whatever, the first 25 seconds I get that. So should pop up. There goes extra experience. And I think I have to pick these. That's all about me picking up those crystals during the time when I have this extra experience. So I'm always thinking, let's race to pick those up. And there's some other special situations where you can really amplify your experience situation quickly. All right. So they have a lot of these treasure chests. I've got 16 coins up there on the upper right corner, you can see, and this costs 8 coins. This isn't the worst time to buy one of these, but I don't usually do it very often because I never know what I'm going to get, and there's a lot of weapons that I do not like. So let's go into this other screen, the character sheet. This shows, that's the wand down there that I'm on, one leaf. And then I've got Black Onyx and the Storm Fury, which is not my favorite weapon, but it's not the worst. If I have to, I'll use it. And I kind of forgot about it, so I've been using the wand. Anyway, and then this shows all the perks that I've chosen so far. And the green ones are special perks that are only for the character that you're playing. So each one will have its own specific green perks. There's some. Anyway, so I'm not going to pick that up quite yet, so I'm going to kind of dodge it, just in case that other perk comes up. Alright, here is the door. So I have the key for that. This is the blue key chips I picked up. I'm going to use it, unlock the door, and it is a chest. Sometimes it is a forge. Alright, Staff of Redemption, not my favorite, but it works. Kind of slow. Curses everybody though, so that's our curses who you're hitting. Okay, 5%. So right now my health is at, up in that upper right corner, says 92 health, so I'll drink this, and jump back in, check the character, now 97 health. So that helps a little bit. It starts to help a lot if you really get up there with health. Start having 300 health or something, and you get 5%. That's pretty substantial. I could have waited one more. There's another room, so I kind of missed it on that, but probably not going to get that perk that I'm talking about anyway, because there's so many perks. It gets them, it's just kind of slow. So that didn't, I don't know if you might have noticed, that did not give me the extra experience bonus. I think it's these guys are immune to being cursed. And so they can't, you have to get a cursed enemy for that to work. So what I would try to do if it wasn't only these characters, it looks like the whole room's full of only these guys, is I would try and pick off one of the characters that is, that you could curse. And then shoot them, and then when you take these guys down and you pick up their experience crystals, then you can get that extra experience. So some of the things, they take a little bit of experimentation and a little bit of know-how to get it figured out, but when you do, it makes a big difference. Strategy works with this game. Alright, switcheroo. I don't really care that much on that one. The dash cooldown is great, but it's not that critical. I'm going to keep going for extra experience. So the Lone Shark will now make it even better when I level up. I gotta figure out how to get around here. We're gonna go fight the boss in the reds. It's wrong way. Takes me a while to get around sometimes. Alright, we'll see how this goes. This is a pretty tough boss. You gotta watch a few things here. Always keeping that keep a dash ready if you can. You see that? Now that's a pretty tough thing to. If I just jumped up and dashed, that's one thing you don't want to get hit with. Sometimes you get a break and there's a room where there's a lot of protection there. Like I could hide behind something there. And this one doesn't have that, so I'm kind of gonna have to just outrun him. Puts up that little shield wall so nothing gets through that for their weapons. So I just jumped and dodged again. So he's kind of got me stuck here for a little bit. Okay, now I've got enough I can go start picking up some of the blue mana here. You see the little streamers coming out on this guy. I have to take out all these streamers first. So that's probably one thing that'll knock you out when you aren't aware of that in the beginning. It just takes too much time. You run around and you're shooting stuff and it doesn't matter. So I have to take out all of these outlying characters before he becomes vulnerable again. He's still got that shield around him. So there he is. He's vulnerable now. So those big boys there, they can do a lot of damage if they catch you with their rocky road there. So this time I got to run away from that because I used my dash up, and so I had to like run out somewhere else. I should get this guy now and get a bonus here. Extra experience is up. That should have helped me quite a bit on that extra experience. They have you get quite a bit of experience for the bosses. Okay, floor 3. Try some more here. think when you're starting out, you definitely are better served to, you know, not put the difficulty level up too high to get real frustrated. You're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna learn that much if you don't try some of the perks and experiment with some of the perks. And if you just keep getting killed on floor one, I think you're gonna just want to throw your controller out. This is a really fun game if you don't let things get to that point. And again, I'm going to keep reiterating, I think having that run somewhere where you can easily do it and not have to press your thumb down on the stick, that's kind of a sucky way to have to do things. You have to press on that stick when you run. So I didn't pick those up yet, which is good, because I got the extra experience going before I picked them up. Let's try one of those things we try and keep in mind when you got something like that going. Now I don't have it going at all. Okay, it's back. See on that lower right there, I can curse these guys now and hit them. So now when I hit them, I'll get that extra experience going again. And then I need to pick those things up before it burns out again, which I did. So I got quite a bit of experience on those ones. I went up a level somewhere that I had before, and now we've got another half, like half a bar. That's the yellow one on the bottom is the experience. All right, choosing a perk. Well, here we go. So Fraser, that's great. This has been good, always prepared. This is a really good perk. 20 mana of each kind. When you pick up coins, that can keep you constantly having mana. And I'm going to take the health decrease for the damage boost. If we look back, you can get to your character sheet and you can see where you're at. So what I did before, I took this erudite, and that gave me extra experience, but it reduced my damage. And then I think I took turtle here, and that reduced my damage by another 25%. So I kind of knew at some point I was going to have to pay the price on that so I could get my damage back up. And I think now's the time. So now my health's going to be down. Now my health's down to 76 health, which is a bummer, but I've also got the shield, a little bit of shield there too, so it takes me up to 97. So it's not that bad. Just keep chipping away at trying to bring the health back up now, and I'm doing more damage, and I'm getting really good experience so far. Okay, could have picked those up later after I got to knock the guy down with the extra experience. But things are happening. It's not always easy to make all the right calls here. You can benefit though. As you get better at it, you will make more and more of them, and it makes a big difference. All right, perfect. Got that guy, got the experience levels up. Not chopping up much mana on this one. Let's swerve around, get my wand out there. Take a little break every now and then, find a spot to hide if you need to make an adjustment, and kind of think it through for a second if you get a chance. Sometimes there's just no chance. Crazy mayhem. another perk. Alternative. Opportunist. Health +5 over there with Opportunist. And at this point, I think I better start doing that. So I'm going to do that. The higher the levels get, the more immune or close to immune some of the enemies are with the elemental damage. So this one they give you a bit of a break, and you'll have a chance. So like this fireball up here would be, not necessarily totally immune to fire, but pretty resistant. But the lower the levels are, and we're not on a real hard level, then he's not quite so bad. That extra speed there, I could be using that a lot more often. That's extra speed from a dash, extra firing speed. See how much quicker that goes out. And when you get to tougher levels, you've got to focus on that stuff and take advantage of every little thing that you can just to stay alive. But we're kind of just going for a cruise on this right now. Okay. Another good decisions here, right? Lone Shark, I could use the extra health, that's true. Overwhelm, it's great. Knock down 5 enemies and get all that extra damage for a little bit. That sounds good. First, I'm going to take this one, believe it or not, even though it decreases my health again. So a bunch of these enemies are going to be cursed. That's going to help my experience thing be up more too. And they do less damage, so it's a bit defensive. There it is. It's done. Big old area of effect from those guys. And it'll slow you down if it hits you. It hits you. So they get good damage and they slow you down. Explosive carrots. A lot of vegetables in this game that are, I feel like the makers of the game did not love vegetables. And they in turn have got us running around killing their veggies. Alright, I ran that one out of juice. I'm going to run this one out of juice if I can't hit the target with something out there. That's another one of my settings. I set it a little bit, it's partially automatic, or there's a little bit of a target assist that I like on when I play. Sometimes it's frustrating if you're just that little bit off and you just can't seem to hit the target. But having too much target assist is also not great, because it'll focus on things that are in front of the boss. For instance, when you get to the boss guys and you can't ever hit them hardly because it keeps hitting these ones that are spawning in front of the boss. So you want to have quite a bit of control over what you're targeting. But I like a little bit of leeway there too. I walked right into that one, blew up in my face. A lot of this you get naturally used to dodging these little fireballs and stuff everywhere because just constantly doing that. Oh, health plus 5 is great. This is a fantastic perk here. Scaredy cat. I'm tempted to take it, even though I could use the health, because when you start one of these, I'll see this more often. If I take it now, I'll see it more often. If I don't take it, I might not see Scaredy cat for a long time. So just to make sure that I'm going to see that, I'm going to take it now. And that also goes for perks that you don't really like that much. You don't necessarily want to take one that you don't really like that much, because you're going to see it all the time coming up whenever you level up. And that can add up, especially if you have to only have 2 perks to choose from or something like that. And one of them is one that you don't like, then you're kind of stuck. Okay, let's see, what are we on? Floor 3. Another boss. Start here, I guess. Angry orcs. Did they come any other way, you know? So he's purple. He's got a curse on him a little bit right now. That means he's doing a little less damage, which really can help. And I'll do a little more damage to this guy. All right, picking up some of these things. Definitely one that you want to save some dash for. Sure, if you haven't played it much, it's about the halfway point for most of these characters, though. When you've got the boss about halfway done, they're going to cough up some like mana and some health a lot of times. Oh boy, they got me trapped there. That was a bad situation. Probably could be dead already here, but I saved up some dashes. Because they're getting me almost cornered a few times. But he's about toast here. I'm gonna curse him and I'm taking him down. A lot of those fights, the key is just to try not to panic too much. Look at your health and check the situation. Save yourself a dash so you can get out of the way somewhere. You can dash in any direction. Don't forget to run when you're out of dash. If you don't have a dash built up, then you might want to run away so your dash builds up. It's like pretty important, if you can, to keep one of those in reserve for those boss fights. Right. So floor 4, going pretty good. I'm gonna go see what we got here. That's not bad. A little bit better. Versus on this, pretty good weapon. All right, I am going to save this and take a break.